welcome. We had our little introduction music playing, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the live on today. And I'm excited because I have my goddaughter here on the program on today, and we're going to talk about faith and fashion, and we're also going to talk about her dynamic business. Today we are honoring young women in business, CEOs and entrepreneurs who are killing it, right? And they are women of faith, right? And they're keeping their faith and keeping God first and everything else second. But God is using them to impact the world, and our goddaughter Toya Marshall is impacting the world of fashion. And so we are so excited to have this conversation with her on today. You know, one of my favorite things, if anybody knows me, is fashion. I love fashion. From the time I was a little girl, I always carried a pocketbook. I always dressed up. I always wore shoes. I never wore sneakers until now, until I got older. And maybe it's been about maybe 15 years ago that I started wearing sneakers. But I never wore sneakers. I always wore shoes. I always dressed up, even if I was just coming outside. And people would say, "Where are you going?" I would just be, coming out. But that was always me. As you get older, the heels don't, your legs don't support them no more. And especially being a pastor, and this year being 20 years that we will be pastoring coming in September. Out of all that I have gone through, some days I even just put on flip-flops. I don't care what's on my feet, but I still love fashion. I'm a woman of fashion. I always have been, but I am a woman of faith, right? And so I believe that faith and fashion goes together. And if anybody knows, anything about fashion, you know that you dress for the occasion, right? And so we're going to talk to Toya on this morning, and she's going to share with us, her business, what it is that she does in fashion. But we're also going to ask her some questions about fashion and faith, about women today, and, how we should dress as women of faith. So good morning, Toya.
Good morning, Godmom, Pastor Ray. Good morning, Pastor Thurston Clay. Can I call you Clay? I'm not sure. Pastor Clay. Good morning. Thank you for having me on your platform today. I am so excited to be here.
So, Toya, I don't know, your mic is muffled.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
And let me say this. I asked her to do this at the last minute, and she did everything she could to accommodate me on today. So she's just trying to get things in order, and I appreciate that. I think you clear now. Say something. Well, now we can't hear you. Okay, we're going to wait. Well, we have our co-host here on this morning, Pastor Clay. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning.
And let's give glory to God for our overseer on today, who rendered the invocation this morning at the State House in Baltimore, Maryland. And that is an honor, to stand before the Senate or Council or Congress and open up in prayer, and to be recognized in, bringing that forth and being asked to do it, being chosen, is definitely an honor. So congratulations on this morning, Pastor Clay. And we're going to see if Toya is how she sound right now.
How's this now?
That's great. Yep.
Oh, much better.
Yes,
Okay.
That's great.
You guys, I want to apologize because I used to go live every second and fourth Thursday through my stream. So I should know that, the sound got to be right. You got to log in 30 minutes before to get your lighting right, your sound, all of those kinds of things. So I want to apologize to your viewers and to your audience, to forgive me for my sound not being, properly,
no worries.
And Pastor Clay, congratulations on today. That's amazing.
Yes, that's an amazing opportunity. It definitely is. And so just introduce yourself again to the audience, Toya, because it wasn't clear, but we want everybody to hear, what you previously said. Now we can't hear you. But we rebuke all these going-ons right now.
Well, Pastor Ray, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
And I'm glad we're having this conversation. I want to know, and the world wants to know, because everyone knows how fashionable you are. They may not know you that you're a personal shopper and all that good stuff. I want to know, how much does Pastor Danette Ray spend a year on fashion?
That's a question that I cannot reveal the answer in public. I'm telling you, that's a question I cannot reveal in public. I really cannot.
Listen, sis, I don't plan or claim to be an expert on all things Pastor Danette Ray, but I do know that you mind your pennies and you watch your dollars. So I know you know how much you spend a year on clothes. I know you know.
I do know, and that's something that I cannot reveal. I just can't reveal it. This is what I am going to say. I'm about to have a sidewalk sale. That's what I'm about to do.
I love it.
I'm telling you, because
fashion is expensive.
But you know what? Fashion is expensive, and a lot of times buying things that cost a lot of money is not always necessarily about maybe you're trying to, because I never dressed to be that way, right? Like, that's never been the mindset that I had. It's just I liked what I liked, and I always liked very expensive things. But at the same time, those things that I got, they definitely have lasted me a lifetime. Like, if you buy something cheap, you'll wear it out. But if you buy something that costs a lot, it usually is worth the money. Because I have things that, they'll never make again. But they are, high brand. You know what I'm saying? And, and then too, people don't even know that people who know anything about investing, fashion such as pocketbooks, people don't know that some people buy certain brand pocketbooks as an investment, because you can always sell these particular brand pocketbooks, and get good money. So those are things too that people don't know about fashion. So a lot of people who like to invest in the investing world, they recommend in some platforms that a Birkin bag, which could cost you about $12,000, $14,000, $15,000, that is a great investment, because that is something that will always sell, even used. Like, it's like a Rolex. And for women, which women spend money in that arena, right? It's it may be more profitable than selling a used Rolex, selling a used Birkin bag, because people are actually on a waiting list to get that particular brand bag, because those bags are actually made to order. So, like, they're made by hand. And so they're made. Yeah, they're made to order, and so those bags are very
So
valuable.
what's your favorite bag?
My favorite brand my favorite brand has always been Chanel. Like, I'm not a Louis Vuitton person. You won't see me really with a lot of that or a lot of Gucci, but I do love. Now, don't get this wrong, everybody, in thinking that that's all I have. But that's something that I love. Yeah, that's something that I love.
I got you.
Yeah, and
So all you married women out there, Pastor Ray gave y'all a little nugget. So when you ask your husband for a bag, tell him it's an investment.
Yeah, tell him
It's
it's an investment. It's not just a pocketbook. It is investment. Listen, it's a jewelry store. It's a jewelry store that I just saw on Instagram that are advertising to buy your bags, your old bags. You can bring your bags to the jeweler and get cash. This is what I'm saying. Like, is there some name brands that you spend a lot of money
so
for?
Meaning a jewelry store.
A jewelry store.
Mark
Jewelers. Yes, on Jewelers Row will purchase your pocketbook.
But it got to be a high-end.
It has to be a high-end pocketbook, yep. But they will purchase it and give you cash, or they'll give you store credit, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just saw that on Instagram yesterday. So your high-end bags, you can sell them to Mark's Jewelers. They need to be paying me, because I'm giving them a plug on this program.
Free advertisement.
Right? You can take your high-end bags. You back, Toya?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
We can hear you real good. Pastor Clay was interviewing me.
Y'all must have been praying. Pastor Clay must have been praying. My godmom must have been praying.
Yes.
Your viewers must have been praying.
Yes.
But I actually heard everything you guys were saying. Talked about those timeless pieces and fashion being expensive. Fashion don't have to be expensive. I know today in the modern day fashion industry, you can find great pieces for inexpensive, and it can also be timeless pieces. You just need to shop on a budget. I shop on a budget. I get those timeless pieces that stay around for years, not just trendy items. But, because trendy goes away and timeless, it's timeless. You can pull those Louis Vuitton bags, those, the ones that we always had back in the day, maybe from the 80s and the 90s, you can pull them out now. You pay maybe like $500. They're paying $11, $12, $15, $2,000 for Louis Vuitton bags. So that timeless piece, it depends on the demand. It stays around. So when they're paying, $2,000, you paid $500. So you have to shop smart. That's what I have learned, being in this industry, to shop smart, but not shop a lot. And, you can use interchangeable pieces in your closet. You have those interchangeable pieces, and it doesn't have to be expensive. For instance, this sequin has been around for years. The trend has been around for years. We can try to leave a sparkle everywhere we go. It will never go out of style. It will never become dated. Now, we can elevate it. We can elevate the look, but make sure it's a timeless piece of sequin. So that's my introduction there. I'm glad everybody can hear me. I heard that conversation that you guys were weighing in on, and I love it.
And Toya, guess what? I have some timeless pieces, right, that I paid, like, for instance, I have some Chanel. Oh, I hate to talk about my stuff, but
fashion show. Let's go.
But I have Chanel bags that you will never be able to get at a price that I got them at 15 and 16 years ago. Right? So when I got my bags, they were like $2,000. You could get them for $2,000, $2,500. I think the highest was like in the threes. Now you can't even get a good one, a nice one for under $5,000. So that's like a cheap one when it comes to Chanel right now. $5,000 on up. If you get the basic classic bag, a nice size, that's going to cost you about $7,500.
Yes.
But at the
That is
same,
true.
yeah, but at the same
So- so-
time,
so-
Pastor Clay, just put